Night, everybody. Welcome back to the Musical Connection. My name is Ray Carr, along with the fabulous David Michaels. David, let's bring the crowd in.
How you doing? It's been a long week. It's been a cold week.
But the one thing we're going to do is bring warm, friendly, fun music to everybody today.
You know that song?
Hey, Misbehavin'.
By?
Fats Waller?
Yeah, very good. You know your music.
I do. And I'll tell you what, this next song, folks, you're going to really enjoy it. I've played it at weddings, parties, wherever you play this song, it always brings a smile to people's faces. The song is That's Amore. That's Amore means love in Italian. The composer of the song was Harry Warren, the lyricist Jack Brooks. It became a big hit and a signature song for the great Dean Martin from Steubenville, Ohio. He first recorded the song back in 1953, August 13th. It was released as a single in November of that year. And the B-side of the single, if anyone cares, was You're the Right One. And just a fabulous song. It's been in a number of different movies, originally in the movie The Caddy with the great Jerry Lewis, the father of Gary Lewis. Now, Jerry Lewis, that is, commissioned Warren and Brooks to write a song for Dean Martin for the movie The Caddy. And according to Lewis, he personally paid them $30,000 because he wanted to have a big hit song for Dean to help him out. And that's how all that began. But the song has been in many, many other movies. It's been in a great movie called Moonstruck.
Oh, yeah.
Grumpier Old Men, just to name a few. And one of my favorite movies that it was in, Dave, we can't forget about the Garfield movie recently.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Not to mention, I've played this song probably every weekend for the past 12 years. It's the theme song to every Italian piano bar everywhere.
Absolutely right. When you hear it, it makes you hungry.
Ray, did anybody request this song to start out with this week?
Actually, no, but I could probably say that the entire area of Little Italy here in Cleveland on Mayfield Road would probably say, yeah, we like that one, Ray. Actually, no request for this, but it's still a beautiful song, and you never really get tired of hearing it. The song remains closely identified with Dean Martin as one of his signature songs, with the other one being Everybody Loves Somebody Sometime, which was in 1964. So, you know, what a great career Dean Martin had. Good actor, underrated, but boy, what a singer.
Ray, was Dean Martin Italian?
Yes, I believe his real name was Dino Cicchetti.
Really?
Yeah.
And he changed his name?
To Dean Martin. Well, he kind of Americanized it a little bit, you know. Back in those days, if you had a real Italian-sounding name, you would change your name because there was a lot of discrimination going on back in those days. My family name was Silvaggio, but my grandfather changed it to Savage to eliminate some of the, the prejudice that would go on.
Interesting.
Yeah.
My good friend Dan Falk, his family name, they were from Poland, was originally Falkowski, and they shortened it to Falk.
Makes it a bit easier to pronounce, right to the point, so nobody really knows what nationality you are. And really, that's what they want. And who cares what nationality somebody is? It's what they are inside.
We're all human, Ray.
We all are human, Dave. And sometimes I don't mean to laugh, but you're more human than human. And that's a compliment.
I got to think about that one for a second.
Dave, you are about as compassionate of a human being as I've ever come into. And I'll tell you what song is also extremely compassionate. One of my all-time favorite songs, Strangers in the Night, composed by Bert Kaempfert, with English lyrics by Charles Singleton, and Eddie Snyder. Bert Kaempfert originally used it as a title. The working title was Betty Bye, and it was an instrumental score for the movie A Man Could Get Killed. The song was made famous by Frank in 1966. Sinatra's recording of the song reached number one on both the Billboard Hot 100 charts, Easy Listening charts, and the UK singles charts. The success of the song led to the release of the Strangers in the Night album, which included the title song. The release became Frank Sinatra's biggest and most commercially successful album. Sinatra's recording, well, it won him Grammy of the Year, Best Male Pop Vocalist. Also, Grammy Award for Record of the Year, Grammy Award for Best Arrangement, accompaniment by a vocalist and or instrumentalist. That would also go to Ernie Freeman. And just an amazing amount of awards go to that song, but it's simple, to the point. And when it came out, it was in the midst of garage music, psychedelic music, in turmoil, but somehow in 1966, Strangers in the Night existed and went all the way to the top.
Tell us a little, Ray, what kind of songs was this going against in that time? Psychedelic rock?
Well, yes, there were songs like Eve of Destruction by Barry McGuire. There were songs like Winchester Cathedral, which was not a protest song by the Nude Vaudeville group. There's a lot of Beatles songs, Day Tripper, We Can Work It Out. Wonderful songs. The Doors had a number of great songs early in that time period.
L.A. Woman?
Well, L.A. Woman came much later. That was 1970. Light My Fire was early 1967. This kind of went still a hit the following year in 67. But it was kind of embroiled in really kind of an outcast song. But it was such a beautiful song that it really sounds as good today as it ever did.
One would say the song transcends time.
Timeless.
Timeless. But those are things I love thinking about when I play. Like, what other songs were out at the time? What was going on at the time?
Well, Vietnam was the big thing going on. It was the protest. Why were we in Vietnam? You can argue that till the end of time. But those were some of the things that were going on. Civil rights. That was another battle that we were going through in the country at the time. So,
as we're coming right up on MLK Day,
yes,
on Monday,
right,
should be tomorrow.
So those are a lot of things that were going on, and we could sit here and debate that and why things were the way they were. But we know one thing: "Strangers in the Night" was one of those beautiful songs that kind of just made you stop a minute and say, "I'm not going to think about what's going on out there. I'm going to think about the beauty of this particular song."
But just Strangers in the Night back then, different. Beware of Strangers in the Night now.
Well, I am afraid of a lot of things. I'm afraid of things that go bump in the night, Dave, and that's why we all hang out together. The theme from Halloween?
Yeah.
It almost sounded like it.
Just a little, little ditty.
Who is it, John Williams?
I can't help but hit the softball, folks.
Oh, yes. Another one I really liked by Frank that year was...
Hold on. Are we doing, is this turning into a theme this week?
No,
Are we doing, crooner tunes?
I really like Strangers, but I also like Summer Wind was another one of my songs that I really liked.
You want to do Summer Wind?
I don't have a lot of notes about Summer Wind with me, but let's talk about Summer Wind.
Summer Wind. Let's just
My fickle friend, the Summer Wind.
Fickle friend. Oh, I put Summertime. Wrong song.
Summertime and the living is easy.
It's got a similar vibe. Sort of.
Well, you kind of forgot the lyrics at the end when Scooby-Dooby-Doo, na-na-na-na.
It's in the key of E flat major for those keeping score at home.
E flat major.
Changes key 3 times.
I believe they got the name for the dog Scooby-Doo from the end of this song.
Really?
Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Really?
I don't believe
No,
it.
Fred Silverman was looking for a name of a new dog for the cartoon they were doing, and he called it Scooby-Doo.
Now we're in the key of F major. We had a modulation.
We've had a lot of requests for more modulation.
They're coming up. Hang on to your seatbelts. again. Oh my gosh. Key of G. See what it did there? Ray, this song is causing me to dream. Does this cause you to dream?
You know, it's making me dream of not just how, the era that the song came out in.
What about a memory from the past?
I can remember hearing this song for the first time in the late 60s. I was very young, had no idea what it meant. I didn't care what it meant. I really liked it. And I think I was playing with my Hot Wheel cars, and I said, what is this song? I like it. But I put it in the back of my mind, and 30-some years later, I would begin playing it a lot. It is. It's a great tune.
Matchbox cars?
Hot Wheel, Matchbox.
Okay. I severely digress.
But I'll tell you what, here's another song that I'd like to talk about tonight. One that our producer and director, Alex Mooney, says he would dance to when he went to Studio 54. Copacabana, also known as Copacabana at the Copa, yes.
He's from L.A.
I know, but he spent time in New York,
No,
Dave.
he didn't.
Yes, he did. That's what he told me.
Get with it.
Alex, are you telling me stories? Well, I could tell you this much, which is not a story too much anyway. The song was recorded by Barry Manilow, written by Barry Manilow, Jack Feldman, Bruce Sussman. It was first released in 1960 or 78, third single from Barry Manilow's fifth studio album, Even Now. Copacabana appeared in the soundtrack for the movie Foul Play, which was with Chevy Chase and Goldie Hawn. Actually, a very good movie. And did you ever see that movie?
No.
It is. It's actually one of his better ones. I think of all of his movies that he made, Fletch was his best. What? Yeah, I thought so. But anyway, let me continue. Do
you know what's going on with him right now? Is anything, like, he just got diagnosed with something not good?
Well,
right?
He's got a lot of problems right now, and I'd rather not speak about it. I don't want to get a lawsuit against us, but he's not doing well.
God bless him.
Yeah, he's brought a lot of this on himself, unfortunately. Well, the song was inspired by a conversation between Barry Manilow and Sussman at the Copacabana Hotel in Rio de Janeiro when they discussed whether there should be a song called Copacabana. Well, they decided it would be. After returning back to the U.S., Barry Manilow, who, in the 1960s, had a regular visitor to the Copacabana nightclub in New York, suggested that Sussman and Feldman write the lyrics to a story of the song for him. Barry Manilow says, I'll supply the music. Lola Falana inspired the song's famous lyric, her name is Lola, she was a showgirl. Remember that?
Yeah. Who was it?
Lolo Falana, the beautiful Lolo Falana. The song's lyrics called the Copacabana nightclub the hottest spot north of Havana. The story focuses on Lola, a Copacabana showgirl, and her sweetheart Tony, who was a bartender at the club. One night, ostentatiously wealthy man named Rico takes the fancy to Lola, but Tony intervenes. When Rico becomes aggressive, the ensuing brawl ends in gunfire. Although it's not initially clear who shot who, it soon becomes apparent that Tony has died. 30 years later, the club has been transformed into a discotheque, but the middle-aged Lola remains in her showgirl attire, now a customer at the bar who drinks herself half blind, lamenting the loss of her youth, her sanity, and Tony.
That's crazy.
It is. It is.
I had no idea.
Now, there were two versions.
This must be the fight right here.
You could feel the aggression picking up.
There we go. Then we go up. A little too drawn out, if you were to ask me.
Well, there are two versions of it. There's the album version, which is 5 minutes and 46 seconds long, or the radio edit, 3 minutes and 58 seconds long. And produced by one of the greats in the music business, Ron Dante, who, if you remember, Ron Dante was the lead singer of the Archies, who had a big hit called Sugar Sugar.
You interviewed him.
I did. Very interesting person.
Folks,
thousands of commercials.
Ray has interviewed some of the industry's greats. We need to bring some of that on the program. The program.
We could share some of that. We could actually put one of my interviews in, I think we could probably do that. When I look back at all the people I had the opportunity to interview, there are hundreds upon, maybe even thousands. And there's been a handful of great musicians that I've been able to speak to. Jeff Skunk Baxter, he played with Steely Dan. Great guitar player. If anybody in the business will know Jeff Baxter, he's very talented. Ian Anderson of Jethro Tull, wonderful guy, very interesting.
The flute, jazz flute.
Yeah, but I would have to say, though, of all the interviews, he was the best spoken guest I ever had. Ian Anderson. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Amazing.
I thought you were going to say me.
Well, Dave.
You've interviewed me
Dave,
several
I have,
times
and I've had
on the radio.
I have, and I think you're amazing.
Thank you. Ray.
I do.
I think you're amazing.
Well, it's my cologne. Probably High Karate again.
Hi, Karate.
Let's go to a request. How about that?
Let's do it. Who's this from?
Ron and Sylvia Kipling. Ron and Sylvia.
Rudyard Kipling?
No relation.
Any relation?
No.
The Jungle Book?
No.
No
relation. Ron and Sylvia live in Waco, Texas, way out in West Texas, and they heard of our show through a friend of a friend of a friend. And they said, we kind of like this show, and it's kind of growing on us, like a weed kind of thing.
I can go there. Well, thank you for listening. I appreciate it. What is their name? Ron and
Sylvia.
Ron and Sylvia, thank you for the compliment.
Ron he didn't tell us where he worked, but I know Sylvia does work in the school district and does something to do with the high school, but she didn't elaborate on that. But what they wanted to say is they like the American songbook, and they like songs of the early jazz age. And the next song that we're going to play, Rhapsody in Blue, 1924. It's a musical composition for solo piano and the jazz band written by the great George Gershwin. Commissioned by bandleader Paul Whiteman, who was very big over turn of the century, 1900 to about 1920. Paul Whiteman and his band were very, very popular. So why don't you play a little bit of Rhapsody in Blue for us now?
Sure. I'll give us a little tidbit here, if I may. This piece is like 18 minutes long, so I took the lush melody section in the middle. All of you might remember it as the Delta Airlines theme. Okay, so we know that. I'm going to play you the lush balladish melody, lyrical melody in the middle. This song, Gershwin was from New York City. When he wrote it, this piece was to imitate, in part, the sounds of the city. So if you listen to the syncopated rhythms, the dissonant,
it's like people walking around.
People walking around, people beeping the horns in a traffic jam. But there's also great beauty in it. If you can, and we're going to start putting our actual Spotify lists for you together so you can listen to the originals. We're going to put this on there. I hope you listen to the full thing. It's one of my favorite pieces of music ever written.
It might be one of the greatest American songs ever written. I mean, that says a lot.
And this song in particular, is the first time that jazz influence was brought into the concert hall, which would be Carnegie Hall. So this is the first time that that was done. It was like bridging a gap.
Jazz was not really widely accepted until that point.
Correct.
It was done kind of off, well, it's jazz, it's over there. Now, jazz becomes taken very seriously.
So, ironically enough, I'm not going to be playing the jazz section, but it's the lush melody in the middle. So, take a listen to this segment of Rhapsody in Blue. I guess that is a little jazzy.
Beautiful job. David Michaels, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Ray.
If you have a request and you'd like to share some information with us or anything, Dave, where do they go?
You can make your requests at themusicalconnection.org. You just go on there, you fill out the subscription info, and then once you do, you can request songs every week if you want to, and we'd be happy to play them for you. We are a community, and we want to play the songs that you love and cherish and that bring back great memories for you in your own life.
Well, we have another request. We haven't had a lot of them this week, but we did have a couple. Ted and Mildred, no last name, from Fort Myers, Florida.
Fort Myers.
Beautiful Fort Myers.
Okay.
Yes, I love Fort Myers. I wish I was down there this week playing baseball, but I'm here with you.
What the heck does that supposed to mean?
That way.
I thought you enjoyed doing
I
this.
do, Dave. Dave,
well,
it's
don't be putting that out there.
But Dave, it's my dedication.
Oh, okay.
I sacrificed because I know that we have a responsibility.
We have a responsibility to you all.
We have a greater responsibility than you could possibly fathom.
Not to mention, I'm not sure how you would do running around on that knee yet.
No.
Yet.
However, I can throw and I can hit. I just really can't run fast.
It's only a flesh wound.
It's only a flesh wound. All right, we're sorry. We're doing a little bit of a...
Okay.
Little,
you know what?
Let's go to our...
Speaking of flesh wound, I got burned by the oven today. It hurt real bad.
That's why you should never cook, Dave.
If you hear any wrong notes in my left hand, that's why. Yeah, I don't like cooking. I'm not good at it. I'm not great at a lot of things. I'm doing right now in front of you what I think I've been privileged with some talent to do. Yeah.
Well, you know what I always say? There's some things that if you know you're not good in the kitchen, stay out of the kitchen.
Well, how does one eat, Ray?
Well, we find somebody to go in the kitchen and make it for us.
That's interesting, right?
Yes. Well, there are people that do that.
Okay.
I learned a long time ago. My father said this to me years ago, and you knew my dad. Every man must know his limitations. And as much as one would try to do something, sometimes we are just not cut out to do certain things.
He would always tell me, bear down, Dave. It doesn't sound like recognizing limitations.
You can bear down as much as you want, but I'm not going to be able to make a casserole.
Like if I was in the T-shirt business, I would write. He was my little league coach with Ray here when I was a youngster. He would yell, bear down. So I'd write, if I was a T-shirt guy, I'd have a picture of Vern, and on the back it would say, bear down, Vern Carr.
Well, there was nobody like my dad. He was an amazing human being, and we played baseball. I had the fortunate opportunity to play sports with him for a lot of years. Not always pleasant, but it was an experience.
I loved it. Playing baseball for them, too, was like the highlight of childhood. And, it's just great memories. Vern Carr was a great mentor to a young fella, and I'll take that with me to the day I die.
That's nice of you to say that, Dave.
So let's take a brief commercial break, a retro commercial break.
Be right back.
And we'll be right back.
Les Miserables, in more than 26 countries worldwide, for more than 11 years on Broadway. It's the one musical that has taken theatergoers on the crusade of a lifetime. The musical with songs from the heart that reach straight to the heavens. The musical is Les Miserables, the world's most popular musical, on Broadway at the Imperial Theater. For tickets, call Telecharge 212-239-6200.
Kellogg's Pop-Tarts. Eat 'em in the morning, eat 'em in the evening. Kellogg's Pop-Tarts. Loads of flavors for big and little shavers. Kellogg's Pop-Tarts. Try chocolate fudge, chocolate vanilla cream too. Creamy frosting, both brand new. Try the ones with fruit inside. Real fruit filling, that's Kellogg's pride. Kellogg's Pop-Tarts. The ones with more.
You know, this was me 5 years ago, and it's still me. Because I confess I'm a waistline watcher from way back. Well, that's enough for today. Now for a lively lift. Ice-cold Coca-Cola. There's no waistline worry with Coke, you know. Actually, this individual-sized bottle has no more calories than half a grapefruit. Another thing, the cold, crisp taste of Coke is so satisfying, it keeps me from eating something else that might really add those pounds. Coke's a natural, wholesome blending of pure food flavors. I guess that's why everyone likes the refreshing new feeling you get, only from not-too-sweet Coca-Cola. And no wonder. Lively, lifty Coca-Cola provides a welcome bit of quick energy between meals. Makes for a pleasant pause in a busy day. Oh, and remember, Coke is low in calories, too. Say, now, don't you get any thinner.
This is a beer that's everything a fine imported beer ought to be. It's brewed with all natural ingredients, the way fine imported beers are brewed. Bottled in tall green glass, the way fine imported beers are bottled. This is Rolling Rock Premium Beer, brewed by the Latrobe Brewing Company and imported in bottles and cans from Latrobe, PA.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Musical Connection. I'm Ray Carr, and we have Mr. David Michaels on the piano.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. Ray, you were telling me something interesting over break. Do you want to share that with me?
Yeah, you played this melody, and it reminded me when I was very, very young, and it reminded me of a very warm day, 1968, I believe, maybe 67. I was at the playground, and somebody had a transistor radio off in the distance, and I heard a melody that sounded a lot like what you're playing. And it was one of those days that you can remember when you were very young in the park, when everything just was perfect. Weather was perfect. kids there were running around. You got along with everybody. You didn't care who they were. It was one of those days that you always wish you could go back to when you're having a bad day as an adult. You think about the sunshine and the fun. You didn't have to be anywhere at any certain time. You had no responsibilities. And it just brings a smile to your face. And that's what this melody does for me, Dave. And that's really what the whole premise of what we do at the Musical Connection. We like to bring the smile back to your face. And sometimes Dave just really hits the nail on the head and is able to bring it home to us. And that's kind of what that brought home to me, Dave.
That's special, right? I like that. You know, you hear things sometimes it happens in your dreams. Things just pop up like a picture, you know, of this just out of nowhere. It's just something from your past, an important memory that you have that maybe a song brings out in you, maybe a place, maybe a piece of art, or a movie, or anything, you know.
It's the power of music. Music is extremely powerful, and it can make you feel a lot of different emotions, and we want to make those emotions positive. All right, Dave, our next request comes to us from Portland, Maine. Charlie Moore and Susan Teaberry, young couple out there, likes our show, likes the variety of music that we're playing, and I think they wanted to really have you play this one called Baby Grand.
I love this song, right?
Good one. The fourth and final single released off Billy Joel's album, The Bridge. A duet with Billy Joel and Ray Charles. The song is a ballad dedicated to the baby grand piano and the relationship it can share with its players. Well, the two originally got together when Billy Joel contacted Ray Charles about the naming of his daughter, Alexis Ray, after Charles. Then they suggested to create a song together. Amazing, Dave. Billy Joel originally sang it in a thick New York accent, but decided to do a Ray Charles impression instead. When they noticed Charles was trying to imitate his style, the song was positively reviewed by the critics, and the single really only peaked at number 75, which isn't as high as they would have wanted, but the song hit number 3 on the adult contemporary charts. The music video features Billy Joel and Ray Charles recording vocals together. Now, the production of the song began in 1986 in Los Angeles. Billy Joel considered Ray Charles as one of his idols, legends. Ray was one of my heroes growing up, Billy Joel recalled. It was a big part of being a pianist and a big star. I could never have become a big star without having Ray as one of my great influencers. So let's hear Baby Grand.
Such a good fusion between both of them.
It's perfect. When Billy Joel was writing the song, Joel tried to compare it in the style of Georgia on My Mind. While he also was giving it a blues sound, Billy Joel also wrote, he wrote it over one single night. One of those kind of songs that they're rare, like New York State of Mind. It seemed almost as though he had heard it before. Originally, Joel sang the song in a thick Hicksville accent. Charles did the same. And according to Billy Joel, Ray Charles, it was very easy to work with. And the rest is, I guess, history.
I suppose so. My baby grand.
Just like to add one more thing here. According to what my research, the song, according to Billy Joel, is an ode to the piano, of course. And it really just exudes a lot of what's inside of Billy Joel. So I think this was an important song for him to write, just because he has, the legends that he grew up with that inspired him to be what he is. And I think this was a song that really paid tribute to all of that.
That would be like playing catch with Nolan Ryan, or
Yeah.
people.
If you were that good.
Who did you grow up like with as your idol, mentor? Like not mentor. Like who did you look up to? Idols.
I would have loved to have played catch with Nolan Ryan, or hung out with Tony Gwynn or some, but people that are that good at what they do, just to be around them, you can absorb things from them. And I think if you're a musician, you're around other great musicians of the past that you grew up with, you absorb things from them. And I think Billy Joel is so good that a lot of people, the same thing with him.
I agree.
It isn't about writing great songs. It's how their songs are played and with feeling. And his songs are still being played by a lot of people today.
Correct.
Another guy that I think that we don't talk about very often, and to move on a little bit here, but John Fogerty.
Ooh, yeah.
I think John Fogerty is a tremendous songwriter and performer. He was with a band called the Gollywogs back in 1966.
What?
The Gollywogs. And they had a big song called Fight Fire. And they were, moving around California pretty good at the time, but they weren't doing what they weren't moving up the ladder as fast as they would like. They went to Fantasy Records, and their name changed to Creedence Clearwater Revival. And I think they had more number 2 hits without hitting number 1 than any other band. Let's talk about Looking Out My Back Door. Released July 25th, 1970. Now, a little interesting back story about the song. The song's lyrics were filled with colorful, dreamlike imagery. Now, some believe that the song was about drugs, because the flying spoon was a reference to drugs. And the crazy animal image could be an acid trip, some people thought.
Well, that just kind of ruined
Well,
the
it's
song.
not. That's what they thought. John Fogerty, however, stated in interviews that the song was actually written for his then 3-year-old son, Josh. And a lot of the allusions in the parade passing and inspiration of the song came from Dr. Seuss's "And to Think I Saw It on Mulberry Street."
I love that.
That's true.
I saw with my Uncle Al, John Fogerty in Virginia, a couple of years ago with his son that you just mentioned, playing with him. I also saw him here when he came through Ohio. It's one of my dad's favorite bands. But John Fogerty, great groove band, great jam band. You said they got the most number 2 hits in the world. Sure, I wouldn't doubt it. But every song they put out, you can groove to. You can hum along.
Yeah, another one I really like is "Hey Tonight." That's one of my favorites too.
Hey Tonight.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
My favorite, obviously, is "Fortunate Son." It's
I ain't no senator's son.
Well, it was a special moment when I saw with my uncle. He was a veteran of the Vietnam War, flew and was a captain on a crew chief of a helicopter. So they dedicated a monument to the helicopter crewman at Arlington, and then that night we saw John Fogerty, and he's, as you know, very patriotic, and he's very vocal about the Vietnam War and peace.
Yeah, I mean, he's, unbelievable. The song begins and ends mentioning Illinois and locking the front door to prevent his troubles from following him home. Country singer, the great Buck Owens, is also mentioned in the song. So, looking out my back door. And the B-side, if anyone cares, Long as I Can See the Light on Fantasy Records.
Now, I will say they're called swamp rock. I mean, we're hard of rock and roll here in Cleveland. Swamp rock. He's not from the Bayou. Let's just clarify.
He's from San Francisco.
San Francisco, California, not the Bayou. But every single song they sing, that's where you could, I could swear that music came from southern, Louisiana.
Right. Well, his older brother Tom Fogerty was in there. Doug Cook and Stu Clifford made up the band Creedence Clearwater Revival. They broke up in 1972, but boy, did they have a lot of material in a short period of time.
That was a bad band breakup, huh? They went through a big rights battle.
It was a rights battle. It was everybody wanted to do their own thing. Everybody thought they could do it better. But really, John was the heart and soul of that band. And without John, they were just another band. With John, they were a great band.
I think they tried for a moment to do it without him, didn't they?
Yeah, I actually have a solo album by Doug Clifford, the drummer. And it was a very odd, I don't know if anybody knows who Doug Clifford is, but he was the drummer for Creedence Clearwater Revival. And if you get a chance to listen to it online, it's a very strange album. But you could just tell that John had a talent, though. He just had a talent that was above the rest. And he really made that band, an institution.
You know this song?
I do, Dave. Sing it to me.
As long as I can see the light. That's all I'm going to sing of it. Because he's got the highest rock voice of anyone. As I can see the light.
Dave, as long as I can see the light, I can see the light on the camera telling me it's almost time to say adios, goodbye, sayonara. Thank you, folks. My name is Ray Carr, and thank you for being part of the Musical Connection. We had a great time this evening. Hope you enjoyed the show. And before we say goodbye, Dave, how can people become more involved in our program?
So start by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Then visit us at our website, www.themusicalconnection.org. There you can subscribe to our weekly broadcast and request songs. You can request them every week if you want to. This community is for you. Thanks for joining, folks.
Folks, thank you again. And if you would like to check out my website, raycarram.com. Dave, keep it going one more time. Take it home, Dave.